Welcome to Sex Talk with Kenyon and Chris. Today's topic, meat curtains.
Tell me about some of your remarkable or memorable vaginas that you've come into contact with.
Totally. There was one, I had a girlfriend, and it was just what I describe it as a perfect porno pussy. Okay. Her pussy was smallish. Mm-hmm. The opening was small. Mm-hmm. The labia were sort of diminutive. Mm-hmm. And it just always looked incredible. Right. Like really, really, really looked great. Okay. There were never, you hear about meat curtains. Sure. It was never that sort of a situation. Always, and again, I attribute that to the size. It was a smaller pussy.
Now, how are you with meat curtains? Is that something that you kind of stick
I've dealt with them, and again, I'm in the sack. I'm always a gentleman, mm-hmm. and I make it a point to, if I'm going to go down, even if it's horrid, I mean, even if we're dealing with the Fulton Fish Market down there, I will still dutifully eat that pussy until orgasm is achieved or faked, right. And I'll. And I don't like to let on that it's horrific or gross or that I'm repulsed. I just feel like that's a courtesy that I owe my partner no matter what. Okay. But when there are meat curtains involved, and I've dealt with that before, where it's like hanging on the ground, that sort of a situation. Yeah. I was definitely kind of repulsed. I remember like when eating the meat curtain pussy that I'm thinking of in particular, there was a sense that I could kind of suck all those labia in your mouth, and then it was like an elasticity to it. Yeah. And I found
almost like when a balloon maybe gets deflated or something. Yeah. And you're
absolutely. Yeah. And there was just it was a little bit fun, but it was mostly gross and something that I laughed about.
Was there a smell involved with that too, or was it purely just
very clean? That one that I'm thinking of in particular was very clean. It was just this sense of, again, the pastrami, the meat curtains hanging down.
Dangling. Yeah. I have to say, I kind of like a little bit of character, and I refer to that as a pussy with character. Not only are they long, but they're darker. The inner labia are darker, labia minora, are darker than the outer labia. Right. And something about having at least a little bit of interlabial length discerns, especially when the pussy is bald, which I said I've liked a lot, it can sometimes help discern a grown-up pussy from an
underage pussy.
Yeah, an underage pussy. And you don't even want to go there.
The cleft.
You don't want to go there.
The pig knuckle.
Yeah, the pig knuckle. I know that this is a grown woman, no matter what her pussy looks like. But I think I don't want to be even distracted for a second going in that direction. Mm-hmm. So, but I think it goes back to dating somebody for a long time who has a certain amount of character there. Right. And this is an ex, that I was in love with, and she had it wasn't long. I don't want to call it meat curtains, but there was a little bit of length, a little bit of character there. Mm-hmm. And the inner labia were much darker, and her nipples are also much darker than you might think.
Would you say they were approaching a magenta or a maroon?
Yeah, I think so. It was a brownish. I don't want to go too much into
earth toned disc,
and it carried over in her labia minora also, and I really liked it.
That ruddiness.
And a weird thing, and it didn't really dawn on me until she said something. She told me about when her first gynecologist, when she was a young lady, and she'd gone in for her first exam, he actually offered to trim, like a minor surgical procedure to trim the length of her inner labia, so that they were more pristine or perfect. Right. And she was, kind of
like getting your tonsils out.
Yeah. It might have put her in a place where she was self-conscious about it. I don't think so, though. I think she's proud of her pussy, and I think she should be, because I think it's fantastic.